Before I play this clip, I want to say that I love Hagmann and Hagmann and John B. Wells, but John B. Wells is wrong in this instance. Let's take a look.
They're twisted and stupid. They're like the flat earthers that say, well, it says in the Bible that you're called from the ends of the earth. That means from all over. There are no ends to the earth. Don't you have any sense of what's written? Don't you have, can't you? You think you see the deep meaning of everything around you, but you can't see. You wouldn't know a Ming vase if it came up and bit you on your backside. It also says in the Bible when God looks down upon the circle of the earth, see, it's flat. It's flat. If you look up at a full moon, what shape is that? A square, a rectangle, a star, or a circle? It's this same kind of mentality. It's 2017, and you still have idiots out there who know nothing of science, know nothing of geonavigation, know nothing of aeronautics, have never flown in anything other than a commercial plane or some little puddle jumper, but they have incontrovertible proof that the earth is flat. I'm talking to you, David Weiss. I'm over it, man.
What is he's saying that people that are going for the flat earth don't believe in science? Well, science hasn't given us one shred of proof that there is even a curve. Flat earth asshole, please take care of this.
No problem, buddy. So, I just got that video request from a YouTuber named James Munder. And his request was pretty simple, that I take out one Mr. John B. Wells. And I also got a message from David Weiss himself saying John B. Wells needs a smackdown. So I figure, why not oblige? I think that's what I do, right? So, let the games begin!
We could be feeding all of the poor with cheese. Yes, not only is the earth actually flat, but the moon really is made of cheese. Rejoice. Imagine the sandwiches. But, I don't know. Let's go on to this flat earth thing. Presumptuous little monkeys and donkeys that are out there. One of whom, actually, I'm quite fond of. He's like, you are mocking me again. It's like, you're damned right, I'm mocking you again. And this comes from, well, let's just read this. Mr. Wells, we have canceled our membership. It would seem that you have been contacted by your listeners to investigate or do a show about flat earth. The Bible is full of scriptures teaching that the earth is immovable and enclosed. It should be enough for you to investigate. With a short commentary from you on the other night show, you've made it clear you have done no research and have no interest in doing any. We have very much enjoyed the shows and have learned a lot, but are brokenhearted by this. We just want to know truth, and we feel that you are that closed-minded that we won't be getting truth anymore from you. Oh, Miss Barbie, seriously. Are you feeling a little blessé sur les croupions? Don't the French have a lovely way of putting things? That's actually French for butthurt. All right, now let me explain something to you. I think I can best explain it to you this way. Another passage from Job 38, 4-6. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare, if thou hast understanding. Who hath laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest? Or who hath stretched the line upon it? Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof? In other words, God did all these things, and you know nothing of the creation of the earth.
Well, you're right about that, Mr. Wells. I actually have no idea how the earth was created as far as the method and the process of creation. I wasn't there, so I can't claim to know that. And you know who else wasn't there? You. You weren't there, Johnny boy. So neither one of us have the slightest clue on how this earth was actually created. But we both do agree that it was created. So that's good. Except in my mind, the earth is created as a flat, motionless plane. And in your mind, the earth was created as a spinning ball in outer space. So we both believe the earth was created, and we're both stuck here. So what do two assholes like me and you do at this point, besides argue? How about we use our own senses we were created with, and our observations, perform experiments that regular people can do, and repeat, and we can go find out one way or another, amongst ourselves, beyond the shadow of a doubt, whether the earth is flat or whether it's a spinning oblate pear rock in outer space. So, one of the things I looked at was Chicago across Lake Michigan. One of my favorite proofs, actually. You can see on a clear day, Chicago across Lake Michigan at 50 plus miles away. Now, if the Earth were indeed 25,000 miles in circumference, which is what science claims it is, that would mean that the curvature per mile would break down to 8 inches per mile when you square the mile. When you apply that equation to 50 miles, that comes out to 1,667 feet of curvature drop, which should hide the entire skyline of Chicago. Not just the bottoms, the entire skyline should be hidden, with maybe the exception of the very tippy top of the Sears Tower. All right? So, we can clearly see Chicago across Lake Michigan, proving that there is no curve there. Proving that the earth is actually flat and the water we're looking across is level. That's why they call it sea level. You know, the ocean, they don't call it the sea curve. Horizon, it's horizontal. Horizon, horizontal, they don't call it the curvizon. All right? So, another proof I like to cite is the longest bridge in China is actually so long, in fact, that it should have a 7,000 foot drop in it. 7,000 foot drop in curvature. Can you see it? Can you see the drop? It's because it doesn't exist. All right, another proof I like to cite. It's one of my favorite proofs. We can see perfect star trails going around Polaris. Perfect star trails going around Polaris. Yet, we are supposedly spinning 1,000 miles an hour, and we're going around the sun at 67,000 miles an hour, and the sun is shooting through the Milky Way galaxy at something around 500,000 miles per hour, and then the whole galaxy is also expanding and shooting through space. And guess what? Out of all those different motions in different directions, we see perfect star trails around Polaris. Perfect star trails around Polaris. Oh, it's because of that magical tilt and wobble, and because the stars are so far away, right? Right. So, whenever you're ready to do your own research there, Johnny B-Boy Wells, you'll come to find out the Earth isn't spinning. You can't feel it spin. You know why? Because it doesn't. You've never seen the Earth as a ball with your own eyes. You know why? Because it's not. So when you use your senses, you're going to come to find out the Earth is flat.
Now, here's something else. I'm using the words, "You know nothing of the Earth." Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is a beautiful one. If the new high-altitude balloons can't see the curvature of the Earth from the camera on board, then you definitely cannot see it from an airplane unless you happen to be high or drunk. Ooh, you sound like you speak from experience. The fact of the matter is, if you yourself, I think that's the same thing, have not been to at least lower orbit, then you cannot say for certain that the Earth is round. GPS is nothing but tower triangulation. Maybe, perhaps, just investigate the theory before you go putting it down. Maybe, just maybe, they want us to feel like we are out in the middle of nowhere so that some people can think we have been forgotten by God. The Bible even refers to the earth being an eternal plane. And I know how much you believe in the Bible. I listen to your show every day. We're going to roll something for you. And we're neither high nor drunk, at least not yet, although some of these emails could drive us to it, but we have strength. Yeah, see that? If you're watching the program rather than just listening, you can see clearly the curvature of the earth. He's way up yonder. What do you figure, 60,000 feet? Yeah, at least. And right there, oh, look. Well, it's probably just the lens. No, it's not. Now let me explain something to you. Seriously. As far as GPS just being tower triangulation, you know nothing of GPS. Do you know how many satellites it takes to get a true three-dimensional awareness of your position? Let me explain it to you. GPS measures the distance between you and the satellites to find your position. If you had only one satellite, the locus of distance is a sphere. Now what is locus? Locus is the place where something is situated or occurs, site or location. In geometry, the set of all points, and only those points, that satisfy certain conditions. If you had two satellites, the locus of distance from both would be a circle on that sphere. Globe. If you had three satellites, the locus of distance from all three would be 2 points on that circle. You need a fourth satellite to distinguish between those last 2 points. So, since most people ignore attitude, the surface of the earth provides the necessary fourth sphere in two-dimensional applications, meaning you generally need only 3 satellites for most navigational problems. However, for true 3D, you need 4. Now, are we done here? If we do a Flat Earth program, it will air on April Fool's Day or night.
Whoa. Let me stop you right there, Johnny. You got a couple things wrong, so let me go ahead and correct you now. I do appreciate your long-winded explanation about satellites and GPS, but, buddy, you are flat out wrong. And let me first start with what you said about seeing curvature at 60,000 feet. 60,000 feet? You can see curvature? Is that what you think? No. We have balloon footage at well above 100,000 feet, still showing a flat horizon. Alright? And as far as your really long and weird explanation about how GPS works with satellites and how you need 4 of them and yada yada, buddy, satellites in space don't exist. The only satellites that even exist are here on the ground. Yeah, that's right. I just said that. Satellites in space don't exist. Go crazy, everybody. Here's where all the people in the comments down below start being like, oh my God, he just said satellites don't exist. Is he crazy? How would GPS work on a flat Earth if satellites don't exist? Oh, well, that's what I'm here for. Let me tell you. In fact, I'm not only going to tell you about how GPS works, I'm also going to show you my balloon footage, which shows the flat horizon well above 100,000 feet. So here it comes. Balloon footage and GPS on a flat Earth. Yeah! You ever been on a plane? Hell yeah, I've been on a plane too. Looked out the window, shit was flat. Man, I've never seen no curve from an airplane, have you? In fact, we've sent up cameras higher than the airplanes I've been on, And they always come back showing a flat horizon. I mean, right here is some footage of when you send a camera up on a balloon and you want to see, how far up will it go before you finally see the curvature. And these damn balloons, they just go and they go and they go, and you keep waiting for that curvature to show up, but it never ever does. We've sent balloons up well over 100,000 feet. We're talking over 20 miles high even, and that horizon's always flat. Now, as the camera bounces around, you will see the Earth concave and convex. But don't let this confuse you as being curvature, because the Earth is not concaved or convex, it is flat. So as the camera levels out, the Earth will also level out. As you can see, that horizon is flat. Alright, let's get to the non-existence of satellites. If you go ahead and Google satellite in space right now, which I hope everyone does, you'll notice every image that pops up looks like a cartoon or a CGI. I mean, come on. Are these computer-generated images or are these authentic photos? They don't look real to me at all. I mean, look at this first image. This is the first image that pops up. That is definitely not real. And then even when you find something that looks kind of authentic, it's like, well, what or who took a picture of that satellite? And where the hell are all the other satellites? And then when you zoom in on one of these supposed realistic looking satellites, it's like, hey, where are the rocket thrusters on that thing? How does it keep itself in a geosynchronous orbit? How does it move around? I mean, how do they control it if it doesn't have rocket thrusters mounted all over it? This thing looks ridiculous. It looks like a trash can floating through space. I mean, how are we to know there's not some stagehand back there holding the damn thing up with a wire in front of a green screen, and then they just snap the picture, add in some Earth in the background in Photoshop? And if you were to Google Earth from space, you get the exact same result. You know why? That's because the Earth isn't a spinning ball in outer space. That's why when you Google Earth from space, they all look like cartoons and CGI. NASA can't quite decide how the Earth looks. The continents grow, the continents shrink, they change colors. And it's pretty obvious when you zoom in on these images, you can find CGI-related anomalies such as copy and pasted clouds. Okay, so here is how GPS on a flat Earth works, in a nutshell and off the top of my head. It essentially uses microwaves as used in cellular communications today, a device that sends a constant signal which can be received by antenna elsewhere. It requires no less than 3 receiving locations or towers. One receiver would be capable of picking up a signal in 360 degrees. So while that single antenna may point to receiving a signal in the direction of the device, it cannot indicate the distance. Should there be 2, a relative distance can be had between both. Should there be 3, that is the necessary number of points to which each antenna can point in the direction of the device. With current technology, it now can pinpoint to within several feet of the device. Of course, it is called global positioning, with the G originally referred to as ground, and unless someone can prove the existence of satellites, then it should still be thought of as G for ground. There are numerous isolated locations on Earth where GPS cannot be obtained, as in mostly the southern hemisphere, which of course does not exist in anything spherical. There are GPS systems built into devices which can be used in isolated areas, providing that they have adequate reception from their cellular device to send and then receive land coordinates from high-altitude, long-range airplanes which circle the Earth. I believe these are only effective when placed at a location until the time when 3 planes overhead can receive its signal and ping back the coordinates. Major cities and population centers are flanked by ground cables connected to towers, hills, and mountaintops, and also a growing number of receivers are placed on as low as 2-story buildings. The low-height antennae are more than sufficient to provide coordinates to the millions of users in these populated centers.
And so there, here endeth the lesson. If you want any more, bleep's sakes, read a book. All right. Now, look, it's cool. I understand you're interested in these things, but it's silly. Flat Earth theory. Oh. You know, it's funny. When people want to satisfy themselves with some ludicrous concept like this, they'll go to the Bible and say, well, the Bible says. But then in the next conversation they have, they'll go into how, oh, well, it's all poetry and metaphor and all this rubbish. And it's like, think of it this way. If you're saying the ends of the earth, well, what if the allegory was really meant to be there are no flat plane ends of the earth? If it's a sphere, then it means everything. There are no ends. It means infinity. Okay, are we good? All right, swell. All right, fantastic. I love it. I guess that's because the earth is flat.
Oh, no, don't get me started. No.
I want to get you started. Go ahead, tell me.
No, oh, that's terrible.
It always says in the Bible the earth is flat.
No, I know.
You know, only smart people, only wise people are really wise people. They're the only ones that are wise to this, and it's going to change everything. Don't tell me that you're one of those round earth people.
John, it is, you are torturing, this is...
Wait a minute.
You are torturing me.
I know. I'm kidding you.
Oh, this is terrible. I mean, seriously. No, I mean, okay. All right. Look, I mean, guys, to those of you that believe that the earth is flat. I have readers. I have readers who believe that the earth is flat. I was actually challenged by this, and these are lovely, wonderful people.
Yes.
Truly. And I cherish their attempts to change my mind. Seriously. And I understand even, and this is an interesting thing because these flat earthers, and I know that we disparage and we laugh, and I'm just sitting here and I go like, I can't believe it. But look, guys, all right. There comes a point in time when you have to believe something, okay? I have flown around the world twice, 2 times.
Yeah.
I have looked out the window while I was doing it. The earth is round.
All right, hold on, you two. Let me stop you right there. You can fly around the world on a globe, and you can fly around the world on a flat earth. And did you really fly around the world, or did you just fly from airport to airport? And furthermore, nobody has ever flown from pole to pole before. That means a circumnavigation from pole to pole, North Pole to South Pole, and back up top again. No one's ever done that before. And then you went on to mention that when you look out the window of an airplane, you can see the curvature of the Earth. Didn't we already go over this? You cannot see the curvature of the Earth from out the window of an airplane. That is absolutely ridiculous. We've sent balloons up way higher than that at 100,000 feet, and there's no curvature. Furthermore, if you were to get inside of an airplane in the cockpit, there are actually instruments in the cockpit of an airplane which are built for flat plane navigation. For instance, the altitude indicator actually shows a flat horizon. Now, when you line the plane up with that flat horizon, you can fly your plane perfectly flat and level across the flat plane. You ever wonder why they call it an airplane? That's because you're flying across a flat plane. They don't call it an air sphere. Hey, I'm flying on Delta sphere lines. Yeah, I'm going to get on an air sphere, Delta sphere lines, and I'm going to fly to Mexico. No, it's an airplane. You're flying flat on a plane. That's why on the altitude indicator, it's a flat level horizon. You line up the plane with the flat level horizon and you fly flat and level. It's really that easy. If the world were actually a globe and you tried to line it up with that altitude indicator and fly flat and level, you would increasingly gain altitude until you flew off into space theoretically, or the plane would actually fail and stall out. You would increasingly gain altitude if you tried to fly straight on a globe. You would actually have to dip the tip of your nose down every mile or so to associate for the supposed curvature of the Earth. This doesn't happen. And sometimes the best argument a globe head can give is gravity pulls down the tip of the nose just perfect so the pilot doesn't have to adjust for the curvature of the Earth. So basically, the plane's instruments are built for flat plane navigation, and the pilots, they think they're flying around a ball.
Wait a minute, were you high or drunk? That's what somebody in an email suggested.
No,
you
I
were
wasn't.
high, but you were high on the real thing known as altitude.
Yeah, altitude. But look, let me put it another way. Okay, here's some evidence that you can trust. If you need something to trust, and I know, I mean, they do kind of want to know to prove one way or the other. Here's some evidence that you can trust. During World War II, when they were calculating range tables for long-range artillery, they had to calculate this artillery to shoot over the horizon.
And compensate for the rotation of the Earth.
Ask any real sniper, and they will tell you they do not have to take the Coriolis effect into account whatsoever when shooting a long-range target. Any supposed sniper who mentions the Coriolis effect and having to take it into account is full of BS, and they're talking out of their ass. The Coriolis effect is absolutely made up. There is no curvature of the Earth, and the Earth is not spinning. Therefore, snipers do not take this into account. In fact, the entire notion of a sniper stopping while he adjusts his sights to take this into account is purely ridiculous.
Okay, hold still now. This is for Obamacare, Guantanamo Bay, the Patriot Act, and that damn ugly dude you married. Perfect. You're all lined up. Now all I have to do is correct the Coriolis effect. So that's 51.518744 and minus 0.129039. Bearing to target is northwest. Average muzzle velocity. What the?
Hello, Sniper Rifles are us. How can I help you?
Yeah, hi. Could you tell me the average muzzle velocity for a SP-40 Sure-Kill?
That will be in your ballistic table, sir.
No, I don't have my ballistic tables.
Okay, I'll look that up for you.
I'm kind of in a hurry here, so don't put me on...
Oh, please.
Oh, shit. At the Copacabana, the hottest spot north of Havana. Here.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
The average muzzle velocity is 1,024 feet per second.
1,024 feet per second. Thank you.
Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, I...
Sure. Have you seen our new line of novelty assassination tools? We're doing a special on exploding toilet seats.
No, exploding toilet seats? Really? How much, no, it's okay, thank you.
Okay. You have a nice day now.
1,024 feet per second. That's perfect. I have you now, Obama. What? Where'd he go? Shit!
Imagine the scenario, if you will. We have our missiles pointed at the enemy. We have our target locked in. We're loaded and ready to go. Our enemy has their missiles pointed at us. They've locked in. They're ready to go. Both of us have our hand on the button. We are ready to launch the missiles and blow each other sky high. But just before we blow each other to hell and back, we gotta go ahead and get some nerds to do some spherical trigonometry so we hit the target.
And yes, and the curvature of the earth. It's like you ask someone who would sail ships at that time, where you could see the top of the masts of these ships before you actually saw the ship itself. It wasn't an issue of being obscured by distance, but the curvature of the earth itself. Please, people, if you believe in it, I mean, I'm just sitting here. But the thing is this. Look, it is an allegory of the challenge that we have of certain people with these theories about reality that do not conform with what is real. And everybody's got this. And it's an interesting problem. It is the socialists and the liberals, they've got their flat earthers also. You can prove to them beyond the shadow of the doubt that you can't get people to work together for the betterment of the whole unless you give them some sort of self-interested encouragement. Socialism doesn't work, but it doesn't matter because they're flat earthers. Mm-hmm. Socialists are flat earthers.
Yes.
And the same thing goes for the people around us that refuse to believe the evidence that economic collapse is rolling down upon us because they also are flat earthers. Oh, I just can't. It's just...
You know what?
Flat earth.
So, John, a wise man once told me, it's better for everyone to think you're a fool than for you to open your mouth and prove them all right. And so I would hope that you, John, take my evidence that I've presented today and at least look into this crazy notion that the world is a motionless flat plane. Because if you take the time and you really put the globe Earth under scrutiny, and then you put the flat Earth under the same scrutiny, you'll find that the evidence for this flat Earth keeps rising and rising, just like the horizon rises to your eye level. And the ball just keeps falling. The ball will fall. The horizon will rise. That's the way it works. When I looked at the two, the evidence was it was flat. The flat horizon rose and the ball, well, it fell. And that's what happens to anyone who goes out of their way to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the earth is a ball in outer space shooting around. You will fail. Try to prove curvature exists, you will fail. Try to prove that the earth is spinning or moving in any way, and you will fail. And then at that point, you will become a flat earther. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This is the Flat Earth Asshole. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. And ring the little bell, or do whatever you gotta do to stay subscribed to my channel, because YouTube is doing some really weird things lately, like unsubbing people from my channel without their permission. People are also telling me that the videos of mine that they've liked are now unliked, and every time they go back and like them, as soon as they're done watching, and then they go back to the video, it's unliked again. I've got confirmation from other YouTube channels that have also told me that they were subbed to my channel and then somehow got unsubbed. So please, do what you gotta do to say sub to my channel. Do what you gotta do to keep the videos liked. We want this flat earth message to get out as far and as wide as possible. And it seems like YouTube is doing something to hold back certain channels. So we have to do our part and shove it right back up their ass.